Hello guys and welcome to Astrology Coaching by Anatoly. As I mentioned in the channel in where I mentioned it, what is the community the community tab in Astrology Coaching by Anatoly. Oh, sorry. Where I mentioned it, what is the community? Sorry to stop the. I was checking whether I'm live, but yeah, everything is fine. I hope just a second, because today, of course, I have issues with my computers and with the website that I'm streaming live. So I will need some just to check something. But I think everything is okay. So 2 weeks ago, I mentioned you that I asked you if you have any questions to ask me today. I understand that it's a little bit. I mean, it's not the period, but I mean the time zones are very different. People are watching from different time zones, so I decided to make it now. It is 5 p.m. in the afternoon, and hopefully there are people who are watching. But if you don't, if you have any questions about astrology, I'm going to answer them now, and of course I'm going to answer all the questions that you have asked in the comments below my post. So if you have any questions about Vedic astrology, and the current topic in astrology or astrological events, you can ask me in the chat now, or I'm going to answer all your questions. I'm a little bit not concentrated now because of the stupid website and the things that didn't work, but hopefully everything is working now. And before that, I just want to mention something first I'm going to I made an agenda. Just a second. A plan, like a real Virgo. I made an agenda. So yeah, so first I'm going to answer all your questions, and then nothing is working, of course. And then I'm going to tell you more information about the things that I'm doing. And hopefully, if you have any, if you want consultation, I'm going to show you how you can book a consultation. So the first thing that is the most important thing is to answer the questions. I'm going to start. Let me drink a little coffee. So, if you have any questions, please write me in the chat. Now I'm going to answer the questions in the comment of Astrology Coaching by Anatoly. So now I'm going to answer. The first question is asked by Rohini Rebel. Rohini Rebel, this is your question. Can you discuss the timing and the possibility of second marriage, such as dashas, transits, and support meeting a potential second spouse? Houses that represent the second marriage. As divorced people need better understanding of this. Thank you. So basically, this is a huge topic. The most important thing. Just a second. Hi, Anatoly. Really happy I caught you. It's very early here in Australia, or late, depending. Yeah, I'm happy that you are able to be on my live today. Dawn Harris, thank you for joining. I hope everything is working correctly and you hear me, because I have some issues with the techniques, with the technology today. I don't know what's going on, but if you have any questions, you can ask me in the chat. So now I'm going first to reply to the questions in the comments in the community field that were asked. Can you discuss the timing of and the second marriage? So first, if you want to see the things, of course, the most important thing to see if we are speaking about marriage is the seventh house. The seventh house is the main house that you're gonna check for marriages and what type of marriages and marriage you have. I have noticed that if you have a lot of planets, of course, you have to know the dignity, the power of these planets. But I have noticed that if you have a lot of planets, of planets there, this means that you can have multiple marriages. This is all the people who have a lot of marriages. They have they have two options: inflicted seventh house or inflicted seventh ward, the ruler of the seventh house, or many planets in the seventh house which are not in a good dignity. So the main thing that you have to check, Ruhini Rebel, you have to check your seventh house. This is the main marriage. If you have a lot of planets, there can be multiple marriages. If the Lord of the seventh house is in the sixth house, this means divorce, or it can mean divorce, not 100% guarantee, but it can mean divorce. If you have seventh Lord in the 12th house, you can lose your spouse. If you have the seventh Lord, when I say the seventh ward, means the ruler of the seventh house. I don't know whether you know a lot about astrology, but if you have the Lord of the seventh house in the 12th or 8th, you can lose your spouse, or the spouse can leave you. So these are very big indicators that you can have multiple marriages, or you can have this opportunity to have multiple marriages, because it is different. It depends. Sometimes it depends on you, you know. So, such as dashes. So, can you discuss the timing and possibility? The timing of marriages depends entirely on your personal natal chart. So I cannot tell you a general rules that you have to check whether you have when and whether you have a marriage, a second marriage. But I'm pretty sure that if you had one, there will be opportunity to have one more. There are different theories. Some people, of course, are checking the second house and the fourth house. I have noticed that when big planets are transiting in the seventh, like for example, Rahu, Saturn, Jupiter, they are transiting over the seventh, the second, or the fourth house, the family expands. This in some way, the family changes in some way. Most of the time, the people that come to me for consultation, they got married, or they have a child, because the family is expanding, especially if you have Jupiter or Rahu in the fourth or second house. So you can expand your family. Of course, Saturn brings restrictions a little bit, but depends on the zodiac sign, depends on your natal chart. But when I see that there is Saturn brings restrictions, or bounds you, connects you, restrict you in some way, doesn't give you the freedom, makes you chained in some way. And marriage is some kind of chain. You get chained. I don't know. My English today is awful. Great day for wife in English. Okay, so definitely, if you want to see whether you have a marriage or the timing of the marriage, first you have to check your natal chart, your dasha, planetary dashas. This is the most important thing when we are speaking about timing. And of course, you have to check the transits of the big planets, Rahu, Saturn, and Jupiter. If they are transiting over the second, the fourth, the seventh, there can be a lot of opportunities, but depends entirely on your natal chart whether you get married or you will not get married. Ketu is the planet or the graha or the point. When I say Rahu and Ketu planets, just these are calculated points. I have to repeat this all the time. They are not real graha. They are grahas, but they are not real planets, physical planets. When you see Ketu transiting over the second, the fourth, the seventh, this means that there can be divorce, there can be separation. Saturn can bring separation too. Of course, if Jupiter or Rahu are not very good presented in your chart, they can bring, again, change in your family status. So the second marriage depends entirely, mainly on your seventh house, the Lord of the seventh house, and your dasha planets. So if you want to check whether you get married, you have to check 2nd, 4th, 7th house. They are lords and the big transits. I hope I explained it well, but of course the best option is to go and have a consultation with astrologer who can give you guide, some kind of guide, in order to see if there are some kind of possibilities for second marriage soon. I mean, in a short period of time. But definitely, if you already had one marriage, there can be a lot of opportunities. At the end of the video, in the end of the live, I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you more about the projects that I'm doing and about the consultations. So first I'm going to reply all the questions. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the chat now. Don't worry, the people who are watching me now from Australia, from all over the world, you can ask me in the chat now. So the next question is from Archan Meka. Oh my god, I cannot read this. Archan Meka. Hi, thanks for asking for questions. Can you please explain the effect of the debilitated planets in a chart? I have all Kendra lords debilitated in D1. Pisces ascendant, Mercury in Pisces, Jupiter in Capricorn, same planets are debilitated in D10 as well. You have to check first whether the planets are debilitated in D9. If they're so basically, you don't have to be worried too much about debilitated planet. We say in Vedic astrology that they act in a different manner. They act in a different way. Sometimes they're indeed weak planets, but depends on your entire chart. So, for example, if you have debilitated Venus, this can bring a lot of issues in love, but this will bring money, because Venus in Virgo makes you more practical and brings money in your life, and you'll be more practical person in your love life too. So debilitated planet in nowadays can give you much more better results than exalted planets in the modern world, because all the things that we're speaking about Vedic astrology, it is in the past. It is Vedic astrology is ancient astrology. So now a debilitated planet can give you much more benefits than exalted planet. Of course, there is a price you have to pay. What I mean is, as the example that I told you, Venus debilitated means issues in love, but this can mean a lot of money, a lot of practical type of love. So there are good and bad things. If a planet is debilitated in the main chart, and it is debilitated in D9, this decrease the debilitation of the planet, and the planet actually is a strong planet. So if you have in D1, the main Rashi chart, you have debilitated planet, and it is debilitated in the D9, this will bring you the planet is strong. Okay, there will be some traits of the planet that will not be the same. There can be some change. The traits can be changed, but still the debilitation will not be so strong. Okay, so Arcana Mecca 5587, this is your question. So if you don't worry that you have debilitated planets, they can give you a lot in this modern era. If a Mercury, for example, if I see that Mercury is in Pisces, this means that you will not be good for a politician, for example. It is not good to speak about politics, but it will give you out of the box thinking. It will give you a lot of strengths in spiritual speaking, in creating something with writing, with singing, spiritual music too. So debilitated Mercury will take the logic, the real logic from you, but will give you more spiritual kind of mind. And you can win if you use this spirituality or this creative Pisces energy through Mercury. So debilitation of the planet, they will always change the planet. Of course, they can create some issues. You can have some issues speaking at the beginning of your life, some oral problems, or what is the problem. You will not be able to speak very well at the beginning of your life, or people will not be able to understand you, or you will feel a little bit different when you're speaking, or there can be something. But this entirely depends on your natal chart. So that's my question. This was the previous Rohini Rebel. Thank you. I understand better. Thank you for asking questions. I love when you're asking questions. And one more from you. Can Jupiter transiting in the first house bring new relationship or marriage? I'm Taurus. Yes, this can bring. What is your dasha, Jill W or Rebel or Rohini Rebel? What is your dasha? If you are in the dasha period of Jupiter, this can bring a lot of changes in a good way. Jupiter transiting in the first house can aspect the 7th, the 5th, and the 9th, and it brings expansion in your life. This can bring a new love, a new marriage. Why not? Depends on your natal chart. And this can bring a lot of opportunities and luck in your life. But my advice is always to check the moon lagna. I have noticed in my personal life that my moon lagna, my Chandra lagna, I'm sorry, I'm mixing the words, my Chandra lagna, and the transits checked from the Chandra lagna are much more powerful than my ascendant lagna from the normal chart. So please check the moon Chandra lagna, the transits from the Chandra lagna, and then if there are some coincidence, for example, from the moon, it is aspecting again 7, 5th, or 9 in some way. I'm pretty sure there can be a lot of good things happening in your love life. So, Down Harris, will timing for marriage found in D9? There are different theories and there are different scholarships. I mean, scholars that, I mean, in Vedic astrology, there are you know that there are so many people and theory in all kind of astrology. In Vedic astrology, some people say that you have to check the transits in D9 too. But to be honest, I only check D9 to see the strengths of the planet. And I always check if you get married, if you know your exact time of birth, then you can check the D9. But D9 shows more what kind of marriage you want or you will have. I don't check transits in D9. I don't check dasha, the planets in the dasha in the D9. I don't check that because I tried it in my personal life, but it doesn't work. I only check the strengths of the planet, so I can confirm if one planet is strong or not in the main chart. And sometimes if a person comes to me for a love consultation, I'm checking the D9 if this person knows the exact time of birth, because the D9, D10, they're changing very in 10 minutes. Sometimes I think 10 minutes or 2 minutes. Some charts are changing every 2 minutes. So you really know, you have to know the exact time of birth. So for D9, if you're not really sure about your time of birth, please don't check the ascendant in D9, just check the strength. The other thing that I have noticed, and this is I noticed in many people charts, if you have sun and moon conjunct together, you will be a very lonely person. Sun and moon, especially if the sun and moon are associated with the seventh house, the first house, you will feel a big loneliness in your life. And especially if the moon is going towards the sun. I mean, for example, sun is 20 degrees and moon is 15 degrees. We say this dark moon. If you have this type of conjunction, the person is feeling lonely, or he will be lonely. This I noticed this with at least 5 clients, people who are coming to me for consultation. You can check the sun-moon conjunction if you have it in the main chart or in the D9 chart. It brings loneliness. So for marriage, down Harris, check the main chart, and I'm not sure whether you have to check your D9. But for example, if your dasha, if you're in the dasha, for example, you're in the dasha period of the sun, and sun is the ruler of the 7th house of your D9 chart, or the first house in the D9, this can be a good signal or a good evidence that you can get married. So check the dasha planet where it's placed in the D9, but only if you know your time of birth. I hope I explained it in the right way, because yeah, I'm a little bit distracted because of the technology things that I have to fix. If you have more questions, please ask me. Don't worry about about anything. I'm going to answer them. I already asked this. Answer this. Hi, no debilitated planets in the Arcana. This is your questions, Arcana, that for the debilitated planets. Okay. Depends on the entire chart, but the debilitated planet, as I told you, will act in a different way. Of course, every planet, no matter whether it's debilitated or exalted, has good and bad traits. For example, sometimes Mercury exalted is not a good thing, because it will make you very critical, very analytical, and this doesn't have always a good it's not every time a good thing, you know. While, for example, I think Albert Einstein had debilitated Mercury, which made him think out of the box. GW Sun Dasha, Jupiter Antradasha. This is very good that you have Jupiter Antradasha. You have to, so there will be a lot of opportunities. If so, because of, you know, when you are in the dasha of a planet, this brings more power to the transits of the planet. So you have to check the transits of the sun and the transits of Jupiter. So in your case, Jupiter can bring a lot of opportunities in your love and dating life. Thank you, Down Harris. Can you explain more about the debilitated planets and its effect, Jupiter, Sun? In my opinion, it is better if you can. I can say a few words, of course, but if you want, it's better to come to consultation, and we can discuss the whole chart. But Jupiter debilitated means that you can be very pessimistic. You can be a little bit thinking in negative way. Jupiter debilitated can create issues with children and spouse. Jupiter debilitated, but this is very general, okay? Just this is general speaking. Jupiter debilitated will make you. You will not be happy if you work in an office or this type of office structure companies. You will need freedom, and Jupiter debilitated can bring a lot of problems with your belief system too. So you have to check which is, if your ascendant is Pisces, I think you said it's Pisces, and Jupiter debilitated, this is not a good sign. You have to make your Jupiter stronger, and this can create some issues in your life. I don't know whether you have some issues in your life, but when the Lord of the first house is debilitated, this can create some issues. My moon is in 7th Aquarius. I'm Leo rising. But where is the sun? Because the sun and the moon, they have to be conjunct to feel the loneliness. Loneliness, if you are in the dasha of Saturn, it is normal to feel a little bit down because Saturn is malefic planet, and depends where it's placed, of course. But Saturn, when you are in the dasha of Saturn, you feel more mature, you feel more old, you feel without any desire to do anything in your life. Sun in Virgo. So basically, Sun and Moon are not together. I'm speaking about loneliness. Loneliness. Moon in Aquarius is very is very communicative moon. You know, you want to meet with other people, and Aquarius people, they are different from the crowds in some way. So if you have many planets in Aquarius, you love communicating with people, but they are very eccentric. They are different from the crowds, from the other people. And if you have a Leo ascendant and moon in Aquarius, you see your Chandra Lagna is Aquarius, but your main ascendant is Leo. And Leo and Aquarius, they are opposite signs. So you can be very different person. I mean, not different, but how to say it in English? Like a like a twin person, like a Gemini person. You can have two personalities, the Aquarius one and the Leo one. And you have Sun in Virgo. I have Sun in Virgo. It's crazy. Okay, before proceeding, I'm going to just to answer all the comments here, and then I'm going to proceed with your questions in the chat. So all the people who are watching now, if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. I'm going to answer them. Hi. Okay. So Bruce 9470. Hi there. Could you please let us know which planet we should be looking at as far as LGBT relationships? For example, a gay male, should one look at Venus, Mars, or Jupiter when it comes to a potential spouse? Okay, I have a video about that, I think. It is in English, I think. Okay, so all people should check Venus and the Lord of the seventh house. This is for everybody. Just to drink a little bit coffee. Oh, it's cold. Okay, all people should check their Venus and the Lord of the seventh house. This is for all people. For gay people, you have to check Mars. For straight guys, you have to check again Venus. For straight women, you have to check Venus, and because this is the karka, the indicator of love, and Jupiter. Jupiter is your spouse. For gay women or lesbians, you have to check Venus. For someone else, do I miss someone? If you want to know whether you are gay, you can check my video, but Mercury is the main planet that brings Mercury as a planet brings different sexuality. When I see Mercury with Ketu or Mercury with debilitated with Venus, when I see Mercury affected by other negative planets, this always tells me that that you can be bisexual or gay person. If I see ascendant or moon sign ruled by Rahu, or Ketu, this can bring again different sexuality. When I see Scorpio, a lot of planets in Scorpio, this means that you are interested in different type of taboos and hidden sexual desires. But I have to check my video. I forgot, to be honest. I have this written somewhere, because when I see people, gay people, coming to my for consultation, I ask them a few questions. When they answer, I put them in a file, and this file, then I use it after this. The knowledge that I gain, I use it for the future clients or for creating a new book. So yes, again, for gay people, you check Mars. For women, you check Jupiter. For lesbian, you check Venus. For straight guys, Venus again. And all people should check Venus. I hope I answer your question, Bruce. The next question is from Sudhans 2438. Why critical natives fail once in their challenges that they have undertaken in their life? You have mentioned in your book, but you didn't tell the reason behind and about weeping sister, why it is called like that. Please explain. I like when people are reading my books. Yeah, this is the Nakshatra book, Nakshatras, Vedic astrology. This is if you're a beginner or you like practical astrology, this is the best. I'm Virgo, and I like practical things. I don't like theories that I cannot use. I created this book because it's very practical. And in Kritika Nakshatra, I think, yes, I said that the critical person will fail at least once in their life, because this is part of the mythology. Let me find it. It is about Kritikeya, Sudhans. If you are watching, this is for you. It is about, if you read about the explanation about Kritika, and there I mentioned that the gods couldn't defeat Tanaka. I think Tanaka was the name of the demon, right? Yes, Tanaka, the demon Tanaka. I'm not good with names. So there was a demon who conquered the world, and the gods failed to defeat Tanaka, the demon. And there was a mythology that only a baby or a child, a small child, can defeat Tanaka. So the gods failed, and that's why I say that the people who have prominent Kritika Nakshatra, they will fail at least once in their life, in some endeavor, in some. Just remove the question. They will fail at least once in their life. What was the other part? But the Kritika, they will fail, but as far as I remember, they have the character to win in their life. Just I have to check what I have in the explanation. Yeah, you have in nakshatras, the most important thing is the mythology. So everything comes from the mythology, and that's why I love nakshatras. And I love reading about nakshatras. I'm using nakshatras a lot in my personal life. That's why I wrote the book Nakshatras in Vedic Astrology. So yeah, the mythology is the reason that I said that the people with Kritika Nakshatra will fail at least once, because the gods failed, and from the semen of Agni, they created one child, Kritikeya, which was able to win over Tanaka. But Kritikeya at the beginning was evil child. It brought destruction, and that's why Kritika Nakshatra is not good to have children, for example, or it is associated with killing children, or not to be possible. There can be some problems with conceiving children. Yeah, you can check it in my book. And about the weeping sister, I don't know why people call them weeping sister, to be honest, but they bring sorrow. maybe that's why they call people, the ancient astrologer, they notice that if you have a lot of planets in this region of the Taurus, in this part of the Taurus, this will bring you more sorrow, or there can be some problems and challenges, and that's why they are calling them weeping sister. But most of the time they probably look like weeping people. They maybe look like, for the ancient people, they were looking like weeping people, weeping girls. But I'm not sure why they are calling them weeping sister, but I'm sure that if you have a lot of planets in the beginning of Taurus, you have to be more careful. Here I speak about David Beckham, because he has a planet, I think, or ascendant in the beginning of Taurus, and it is next to the star, to the fixed star Alcyone, and that's why he is more like this star gives you creative energy, feminine energy, and that's why he's one of the symbol of the metrosexuality. That's why I wrote this in this book. You can check it on. You can buy it in Amazon. So, next question. This is from your Arcana, and we finish the questions from here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So here in the chat, if Sun and Moon are close in degree, yes. If the Sun and Moon are close in degree, I mean, they're in the same house and close in the degrees, yes. So, can Rahu transiting the 11th house bring gains? What else can one expect when Rahu transits the 11th house? First, you have to, if you want to expect gains, you have to be in the dasha of Rahu. And you have to check what is the relationship, in which sign is Rahu. If it's debilitated, this can bring this. I don't think it will bring a lot of gains in the 11th house. But if it's exalted, although Rahu is, in Taurus is exalted, this can bring gains, yes. Rahu in the 11th house brings expansion and desire for gains, for sure. And if you have the right natal chart, it can bring more gains in your life. But if you don't have strong natal chart, strong position of the planets, this can mean only increase of your salary, for example, increase of the income, which is not a lot. But Rahu always expand in some way the significations of the 11th house. So it can make you popular. It can give you more followers if you are in YouTube business, for example. It can bring you, it can give you fame. It can give you more powerful people, influential people in your life. But if you have a good, if you are in the dasha of Rahu, and if you have a good natal chart, because some people don't have, most of the people, I mean, if you have a strong position of in your natal chart, this can bring you a lot of opportunities. Rahu in the 11th house. So I'm waiting for more questions. If you have more questions, you can ask me now in the chat. I hope I didn't miss anything. While I'm waiting for more questions, I just want to share, because I want to, how to say it in English, to show you something. First, before sharing, I want to make some advertisement of my book, Nakshatras in Vedic Astrology. You can find it on Amazon. And Vedic Astrology, easy and simple, again in Amazon. While I'm waiting for questions in the chat, these are books for beginners, and I have planets in Pisces, so I'm doing some creative things too. This is artistically non-artistic, with some paintings, with poems and QR codes that you can scan. And if you scan the QR code, there is a video open. You open a video, a website with a video, and I'm speaking some things. I make it very interactive. And last week, I was able to translate one of my books in Japanese. Of course, I didn't translate it. Let me see if I see myself here. Yeah, this is the Japanese version of my book. You can find it in Amazon. And just a second. Today is not my day for with technology. You can find it in Amazon, but this is mainly I created it mainly for Japanese market. And here again, everything is in Japanese. I changed a little bit the the order of the photos of the paintings. But if you have any idea how to make it popular in Japan, because I don't know anything about Japan, please let me know, because I really don't know anything about this market. So I was able to create this book, and I was able to create another book for illustration, which is this one. You can find it again in the whole market, in all Amazon. Yeah. Okay, so this was the creative part for today. So let me see if you have any questions. So, do you read the outer planets Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus? Yes. For mundane astrology, you have to check it. If Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus are close to the other planets, you have to check them. You have to take them into consideration. And of course, you can check the general signification of Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune in your natal houses. For example, what does Pluto in fifth house? What does mean to have Pluto in the fifth house, sixth house, and this wherever Pluto is, there can be transformations. Death and rebirth. Dobromir Dimitrov. High opinion. Dobromir, I have a Bulgarian version. I will have live today in my Bulgarian channel. 9 p.m. Bulgarian time. Opinion on the 11th house stellium. If you have stellium in the 11th house, this means that, of course, I cannot tell you what this means, but this means that 11th house will be one of the most important parts in your chart. And you have, so income, money, all the signification, they will play crucial role in your life. Depending on the planets, depending the sign, depending on the nakshatras, how many planets, stellium. What do you call stellium in? Because this is a Western astrology stellium. Stellium can mean, I'm not sure how many planets is a stellium. Because I don't use this word in Vedic astrology. How important is Upapada Lagna for marriage and relationship? My Upapada Lagna is in Leo. Upapada is in Gemini, right? Because I'm using mainly Parashara. And I have studied a little bit Gemini, but I didn't. I'm using the karkas, the indicators, the indicators, the planets indicators, and the Atma Karka, Kara Karka, I mean Dara Karka, Atma, what was the other word? The Atma Karka is the planets with the highest degree. So I use mainly these indicators, but I didn't check Upapada Lagna, to be honest. I don't use it. I don't use it. But maybe I have to check it with clients, and then I can give you more information. But I try not to mix astrologies, and I try not to. I don't want to mix the astrologies, the different types of astrology, because sometimes this creates issues. I try to make it easy and simple. That's why my books are easy and simple, because if it's easy and simple, it's more practical and you can put it in action in your personal life. I need books on Vedic. I have 2 books, but in Amazon it's full with books in Vedic, and some of the books are really nice. I have an online course for Vedic astrology. You can find the link in somewhere under this video. There has to be a link about my online course in Vedic astrology for beginners. Is Venus in the Nishta Nakshatra bad for marriage? Depends. The Nishta Nakshatra is can make Venus a little bit more practical, but the Nishta is not a bad nakshatra. Depends entirely on the other stuff in your natal chart. Your book sounds fantastic for me. I'm a beginner. Yeah, you can try them. I think you're from Australia. I think Amazon Australia. Let me check if I have them in Amazon Australia. I cannot check it now. You can check it, but I think my books are selling in Australia too, because sometimes people, there are a lot of Indian people in Australia that are buying my books. Vedic astrology is easy and simple, and nakshatras in Vedic astrology easy and simple. Dubromir Dimitrov, is Sun, Venus, Mars in other nakshatra a good combination? Sun, Venus, and Mars can make you very emotional, very dramatic, very sensual person. Ardra is a heavy nakshatra. This is in Gemini. So Sun, Venus, and Mars in Gemini depends on the degrees, but it can make you very creative, very emotional. Ardra is associated with sorrow, with crying, with Shiva and Rudra. So there can be a lot of challenges in your life for sure. People who have Ardra, Mua, Bharani, what else? These are heavy nakshatras. Purva Padrapada and Uttara Padrapada, they're heavy nakshatras too, but in a different way, like Jeshta, like Vishaka. The energy is a little bit more dangerous there. But depends what kind of good combination you are looking for and where this combination is placed. And depends on the entire chart. We cannot judge one combination by the combination. We have to check the ascendant, the degrees, the position of all planets in your chart to see if Venus, Sun, and Mars combination conjunction in order is a good combination. But definitely Sun, Venus, and Mars can make you very passionate person. It can give you a lot of depends on the sign, but in this is Gemini, it can make you very communicative, very good in communication, but it can bring a lot of challenges. So we have to check the whole chart. Do you have any other questions that you want to ask about astrology? Oh, by the way, from today, I will, just to show you, I will have every summer I have a discount on my consultations. So from today is 16th, right? It's 16th of June till 16th of July. I'll have a discount on the consultation. So if you need consultation, you can check them on my website. I'm going to show you. The website is www.astrology-coaching.com, and here in the consultation tabs you can find the different consultations, and I have discounts, and these discounts will be only for 1 month, just to let you know. If you need a consultation in love or career or yearly horoscope, now it's the moment. Okay. Do you have any other question? Or we can make another live in July, probably. We'll see, because I will get some vacation at the end of June, probably. If you don't have any questions, thank you for watching. It was a great pleasure to answer your questions. And you can check my website. You can check, I'm going to send you the link here in the chat. You can check my book for beginners in Vedic astrology. You can check my art book if you're interested in different type of art. If you know how to make my Japanese book popular in Japan, on the Japan market, please let me know. If you want to learn Vedic astrology, you can check my online course about Vedic astrology. It is for beginners. It is easy and simple. I try to make it easy and simple, so people can learn astrology. And of course, you need much more courses and much more practice in order to learn Vedic astrology, but you have to have the intuition. You can check my videos. I have a lot of videos in my channel about whether you'll be a good astrologer, whether you'll be a good psychologist. You can check my videos. I have a lot of videos. I'm doing this since 2020, and yeah, since COVID. Thank you, Down Harris. Thank you. Check my website. Yeah, it's the consultation tab. There is chart calculator. Sometimes I put different articles in my website. To be honest, I prefer writing books, and I'm not very good in updating my website with articles, because I prefer to write the book or to make the video. And yeah. Thank you for this video. Can't wait for the next live chat video. Namaste. Namaste, Jill. Have a great day, and have a great week, and see you soon. Bye for now.